Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on. We covered it earlier. I figured it'd be good to get an update a little later here, kind of see where we're at with things. It seems like it's stabilizing, but keep in mind, we just lost 9% in less than an hour because Mt. Gox wallets went active for the first time in 7 years. Okay, so again, this is a tweet that I sent out here. If you're not following my Twitter, recommend doing so. You can kind of stay in the know with all the fundamental and technical data. Extremely important stuff here as well. So be sure to check that out in your own time. But what we want to do is kind of look at this here. And this is a little play-by-play here. Check it out. It's actually quite exciting to see, at least in a different way, right? I'm excited because we took some healthy profits on the way down with one of our exchanges. Unfortunately, we hit a stop loss on the other, but you know, it just kind of happens that way sometimes. Funny, Binance didn't quite hit the stop loss, but our Bybit trades did. And just kind of the way that it goes. So that being said though, take a look at this here. Watch, we can see pretty clear as day when Mt. Gox comes into play, or at least those wallets became active for the first time in 15 years. Good Lord, look at that crap. Yeah, so it got kind of crazy, and in truth, you know, it's one of those things it's stabilizing now, but we want to kind of look at some support and resistance levels, kind of identify roughly what that looks like. We also want to kind of peek over at high block capital data because this has changed dramatically since my video earlier today, right? So obviously we got a tremendous amount of volume, the most volume we've seen since, what is it, March 23rd. So most volume in over a month. Keep in mind the day's trading hasn't closed yet. The candlestick hasn't closed. Look how many long liquidations we have here though. That is tremendously large. That is crazy how high that is. Keep in mind bid-ask spread ratio, more buys are still in there versus the shorts, right? So in other words, you know, people were trying to buy Bitcoin more so with the price action where it's at and then actually sell it. So keep in mind it's still a good value. I added to my bag at 27.5, 28K. Recommend obviously hopefully doing so as well. No, not to say it may not go down, but it also may continue up as well. It's really hard to say specifically, but that was a big deal. All right, so take a look here. Here is the last 12 hours. This changed dramatically because when we were here, we didn't have hardly any liquidations, but if you see the most amount of liquidations, right there at 28,600, basically 28,700 is a round number. It's very, very close to Fibonacci retracement level, and that's where a lot of a lot of longs had their stop losses in place, and they got liquidated hard. Same thing as well here as well. You can see about 26,800. A lot of open positions there never either truly got filled or were closed or canceled at this point. Last but not least, we'll take a quick look at the longs, kind of see where they're at. Because even though they got liquidated, as we can see, there's still a handful of longs still holding strong at 29,700. So they're hoping for the price to recover and to recover their loss. So you can see a lot of longs are underwater, whereas shorts are doing pretty darn good. They're all heavy shorts at about 29.7 as well. So a lot of open positions at that 29.7 mark, and it's just crazy how that worked out. So interesting stuff nonetheless. Let's take a look here at the charts. We can see the price is recovering, it's increasing. We can also note that the volume is starting to taper off. Obviously there's so much volume that came into the market just a moment or came out of the market. That's really, it's hard to say specifically what's going on, but in truth, we are seeing less volume than we did recently, but also more volume than we had in the last couple of days. So that volume holding its place right there, I think we should be able to hold 28,000. So take a look here at the MACD. Even though it swung way down here, we're looking at a nice convergence there. That is a 15-minute. Why don't we go and look at the daily and kind of see what this looks like here, because that's where things get interesting. We got this massive doji candle, so we're preferring or hoping for the price to close above 28,300 today. If it closes below that level, we would have basically like an exact doji candle or a red doji, implying that the price action could come down from here. Now keep in mind as well, I sent this out on my Twitter, but we do have a potential head and shoulders pattern forming here. So we got the shoulder, the head, the lower shoulder and upper, and then potentially on its way down. So Elliott wave is anticipating the price to come back down from here. So keep in mind head and shoulder could definitely occur here, but it would make more sense for the price to go sideways a little bit longer and then drop before it were to increase, okay? But just keep in mind if this head and shoulder patterns can come to fruition, there's a great chance it'll continue up from there, okay? So I think that we might see more downside as expected, but we also will see a lot of some crazy tumultuous type of activity between now and then. So I'm hoping for a closure today at about the 28,300 or higher mark, preferably higher. 28.6 right now, looking pretty good. So it is absolutely rallying back on track. So not much has changed here too much. We're still above 50 on the RSI. That's a good sign. It was almost at 70 earlier today. Now it's tapered off a lot. But the key takeaway here is that we see that money flow index increasing. We can also see that the MACD is trying to converge, and it's happening ever so slight. So there's still definitely some bullish momentum here. You got to keep in mind it's not completely wasted or wrecked. There's a great chance the price could continue higher from here. But I would recommend considering adding some limit orders just in case. 28,000, 27.5, maybe even 27 even. Unfortunately, my 27,000 buy-in didn't get triggered here because we came, 27.2 I think was the lowest, but got that 27.5 in there. So again, I'm on Twitter kind of letting you know different recommendations there. I'm actually sending out a portfolio update here as well based on diversification. Be sure to check that out. That's coming out here in 1 hour or soon. And the bottom line here though is that we're in a position right now where we haven't totally lost momentum. So try not to get checked out here. Yes, the price dropped down and it's rallying back up, but the truth is it could go either way, and no one truly does know what's going to happen. It would make more sense for the price to stay where it's at or recover back up because we had a lot of good momentum going into it. That very well could have been a bull trap, but there's also a good chance it was just legitimate price action and that it got corrected very quickly because that Mt. Gox wallet went active in the first time in 7 years. They probably sold a bunch of Bitcoin or something along those lines, triggered a lot of people to want to sell at the same time. Okay. So just keep in mind, we're not in dire straits here, but we want to be able to get a candlestick closure, I'd say at the very least, above 28,500, this key Fibonacci retracement level. And I say it's key because if you look at it, it's at 0.382 level. A lot of times when you look at an ABC pattern, it'll come down and bounce up to either 0.382, 0.5, or 0.618. Those are 3 common characteristics, right? So I think that we are going to probably consolidate in that range. I don't think we're going to see 30,000 beat in the near future. I think we are more likely to retest the 27,000 range before we do that. I mean, you could consider today a retest, if you will, but this is a really funky candle, and I think we're going to see more days in this range between 0.382 and 0.618. So make it simple, between 28.5 and 29.5. That should be the range-bound activity that we're looking for. So it's probably going to do something like this for a little while, okay? Is roughly what we're looking at. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. 4 hour, just quickly summarizing the 1 hour and call it a day here. TD sequential is all sorts of janky. Nothing really much we can kind of consider here for consistency. We were overextended going into the sell-off, and now we're overextended going into the recovery. Okay, so there's no other way around it. It's just not pretty. This is manipulation 101, and unfortunately, a lot of us are learning that lesson fairly hard. So that's why you want to be careful and cautious and somewhat make sure that you are focusing more so on day trading than swing trading in this market. That's exactly why we're bringing day trades to our community, to make sure that we have that feature, that leg up. And once again, good 20, actually somewhere in the range of maybe just say 10 to 20 signals per week on average there, and we're going to have a full team working on that. So it's going to be awesome to be able to have that available. That is coming in the next couple of weeks. We just kind of got to articulate the details with Cornix to make sure that that's fully automated, to ensure it's an easy user environment, because obviously you want to be able to automate those trades, right? They're just quick and easy, in and out within a couple of hours or less. All right, anyways, recommend doing so for yourself if you can. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Keep in mind, we did just take some healthy profits on our short from yesterday at 42%. This was our Binance futures. Unfortunately, Bybit did get stopped out, and I was part of that too. So hey, it happens. You take some losses sometimes, but you will focus on the gains, and we want to just try to maximize our benefits. So be sure to just be careful and cautious with your trades right now. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. There's not much else to really extract here. We're all set and good to go. Just a quick favor before you leave, be sure to check out our Twitter and make sure that you help us grow that channel, because it's absolutely a great resource to be able to kind of get you more relevant information, because we want to make sure that you guys have good fundamentals, technical data, and a little bit of sense of humor along the way too, right? So be sure to check that out. And oh, there's that portfolio I was referring to. Definitely recommend that. If you could, just go ahead and let us know, how would you split up your portfolio, right? All right, well, hope that you have a great rest of the day. Thank you again so much for your time. We'll see you all on the next one. Take care.